Te Akau racing is one of global racing's great success stories, with David Ellis and his wife Karen having brought joy to countless owners in Australia and New Zealand for many years. I caught up with David in the pre-COVID era at the Karaka yearling sales to talk about the great yearlings he's bought, such as Probabeel, Belle and Te Akau Shark, and it was straight after the Te Akau tangerine had been carried to success for the fourth successive year in the Karaka Million by Aza Beel.
Congratulations.
Right over the top. Good up to win it. The Kiwis fighting back Avantard.
It's still Aza Beel in front, Probabeel, Boss and then Te Akau. They're going to do it again.
David, well, firstly, congratulations. 4 Karaka Millions winners in a row, the 2-year-old race. I mean, that's an extraordinary effort, not just in New Zealand or Australasia, but on a global scale.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, isn't it? It gave me a big thrill. I found the whole thing quite emotional, and it's a result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people that are in my team, and I was just so proud of them all because we've all done our job. I've bought them, Jamie's trained them, and the wonderful team of staff that we have that look after them, they've done their job too, so it was a great team effort.
And take us through the preparation of Aza Beel. I mean, from the fall of Hammer, it's a huge process, isn't it? Even to get them back a year later winning a race, let alone several years down the track. What is the process you go through once they leave the sales ring?
Well, even before the sales ring, fed our studs in the Manawatu, and Joe Walls and I went down there 13 months ago to inspect the yearlings, and we went to this boutique operation, and they had 3 yearlings in the sale, 2 Savabeels and a filly, and I finished up buying all 3 of them, 2 at the sale and the one they passed in, and I bought it the ready to run sale. So you then inspect them, you rate them, you go back and see them a second and third time, and then you buy them and they come back to the farm where they're broken in at Te Akau stud, and when they're ready we send them to the stable, and we like to educate them early, particularly the colts, keep them busy, keep them, we've got a stable at Matamata that is restricted to only colts, so fillies never go within 100 metres of the barn, and then when we trialled this horse we were getting pretty excited. He probably should be unbeaten, but he is a pretty exciting colt that'll be racing in Australia in the next 6 months for certain.
To get them to that, as I said, obviously the team effort, but also just the expertise to get a 2-year-old to stand up at all, but you know, year in, year out to have these 2-year-olds getting out and racing so early.
Yep, you've got to have people that really know what they're doing, educating them, riding them. We'd probably have the best track work riders our company's ever had. And of course we've got Opie, who rides work most mornings, and it's a really big team effort, but you've got to have the right people handling these horses because we don't push the 2-year-olds. They have to tell us that they want to do it, and if they do that we then let them race, and yeah.
And it's a credit to you as well, obviously, not just, you know, picking them and your methodology and knowledge and experience, but also the people we've talked about it before, the young people you're bringing together. I mean, you know, your Jamie Richards as a trainer is an absolutely sensational trainer as a young man, but you've also helped, you know, given him that confidence to give him, you know, the ability to go on and train these horses to this degree.
Yeah, he's a pretty exceptional young man. I'm very proud of him. He's got a terrific work ethic, but he's very clever, very smart, listens, and is very good. You only ever need to tell him something once and it just happens, and he's good fun and a really lovely guy to work with.
Does he sometimes say, well, hang on David, I'm not sure, I'd rather do it this way? Does he sort of do that, or you're always all in agreement?
No, we have a lot of discussion, and if we're not sure, Mark Walker, who trains for Te Akau in Singapore, is normally the referee.
Right.
So we get a third opinion from him. But it is a very happy team, and there's never any disagreements or arguments, just good, healthy discussions. All we want to do is for the best for our horses. And interestingly enough, that all those 4 Karaka Million horses, the winners, they've all gone on. Look at Belle, look at Avantage, and look at Probabeel. So they're not just 2-year-olds that we're buying horses that can race at 2, but ones that'll train on.
Funstar and Probabeel down the outside.
Well, that was the next thing I was going to say. It's so rewarding, isn't it, that they can train on and be, you know, Probabeel, you know, I'm sure in a year or so she'll still be racing at the elite level.
Yeah.
And what she did in Australia already was so great. But it's also an interesting thing of where they go, you know, the stud offers for Aza Beel. How do you handle that? Do you just wait and say, look, it's not on the drawing board until he's raced further on? Or what do you do in negotiations about these studs that I understand are interested in the colt?
Well, currently Te Akau Racing has 7 stallions at stud, and every one is different, and we're happy to talk to any stud if they're interested, and whether we keep the horse till he finishes racing or whether we do something now simply depends on the money that's on the table and what's best for the horse and what's best for my owners.
And the owners themselves, I mean, you do obviously have new owners all the time, don't you? I mean, you need to keep replenishing owners. You have a lot of loyal owners, but you know, is it still, you know, still the interest and new people that are wanting to get involved with Te Akau and with racing in general?
Yes, there is. We normally average 100 brand new owners each year. We've got about 900 owners at present, and a lot of them reinvest each year with us. But we're always on the lookout for new owners because we enjoy meeting them. We find it exciting when they come and stay on the farm or come and have lunch, and we enjoy showing them around, and we enjoy seeing the thrill that they get out of having a winner with us.
Here comes Avantage on the outside.
And you've given so many of them such great thrills, and obviously again here buying some lovely horses. You know, the Aza Beel Bay Rock from Windsor Park for $875,000, the Aza Beel Magic Dancer from Waikato, $800,000. You do buy from the very best farms, don't you? I mean, you really know who can produce the really good horses too.
Yep, the farms that we buy off have over the last 50 years left, you know, some of the best horses in the world. Look at Windsor Park that I bought that Aza Beel colt from. You know, they bred So You Think. You know, one of the best horses that I've seen in my lifetime. And, you know, Trelawney Stud. What have they bred? 6 or 7 Melbourne Cup winners. And, you know, pretty much every horse I buy off them is a good horse. They're just great farms, and of course Cambridge Stud. You know, we love buying there because what Brendan and Joe Lindsay are doing for our industry is just quite incredible. And Henry Plumtree, well, they don't come any better than him. And we've got a great association with them, so you know, it just works well.
So overall, this looking at the Karaka sale and the market here in New Zealand, how would you see it? I mean, there is a lot of money that comes in from Australia or from Asia, but you know, obviously the racing is still a way to go as far as resolving all the issues with prize money and so on. But where do you see the industry at the moment?
The breeding industry, I think, is really exciting. I think that there's a lot of new sires here, some of which will make the grade, some of which will be disappointing, but you know, definitely they've left pretty attractive athletic types. The racing industry, well, we're just fortunate that we've got Winston Peters, who's be the best racing minister that we've had for a while, and he's making some big changes, tax deductions, making the Inland Revenue Department more user-friendly, and it will make a big difference.
What a body bear, a mighty bear.